Hi, I wanted to tell you my cat story. When I was in first or second grade in Kansas, my dad came home with a Siamese kitten and told us to let it acclimatize before we messed with it. Then, when I was in high school, my parents had divorced for several years, and I moved in with my dad and his girlfriend, and her son was there, and my sister came with me. She was a couple years younger and had a male cat. My dad's girlfriend had two female cats. Pretty soon we had 22 cats. Lots of litter boxes, changed frequently. They were all inside. We were in a mobile home, and they could not go out because the landlord lived next door. When I moved out, when I was still in high school, I moved in with a boyfriend who became a husband later on. I took two of the cats with me, and he told me they could not stay in the apartment that we got. He said the landlord didn't allow it, but now I think he just didn't want them. So he took them to work, and they got run over. So I had no cats for a long time, and then we had 4 kids, and one of the kids was a daughter, and she wanted a kitten. So I told her we were about to move, and at the next house, then she could have a cat there. And we moved not long after that, and she got a kitten. Her dad took her to the SPCA, and it was another Siamese, and he didn't want it in the house, but it was too young to be outside. So since it was born in the shelter, we took it to the vet, and turns out it had all kinds of parasites. And we did get it fixed, and I did get a cage for it to stay outside, and then I built out of a rabbit hutch a much larger device or thing for it to be in. And when he was at work, I brought the kitten inside. He probably knew, but as long as it wasn't around him, he didn't care. So the cat did end up going outside, out of the cage once it got old enough, and she did end up disappearing for 3 months, and then came back a lot skinnier, and took her to the vet. She was fine, just skinny. She was home for a while and then disappeared permanently. So sometime during that time after that, I became allergic to cats and could not be in anybody's place for an hour, and then I would start reacting. Then my second husband was into rescuing cats, and he brought home a kitten that he found in a ditch on his way to work or back from work, I don't remember. And I was allergic, so we took it to the shelter, and of course he was mad at me, but that's the way it goes. It was a kitten, so it got adopted fast. Then I had other cats I was around in other people's places, and I was still allergic. Then in 2018, my ex was a security guard and found a kitten inside an air conditioning vent. He brought it home in his lunchbox, and I wasn't allergic to it, so we kept it. And then when we went to separate housing, I took the cat and our kid because I wasn't allergic. Then I moved a few times. I was now in an RV, and somebody died related, and I came down to help onto some property with the house, and I had my RV still, and I was there for about a year and a half, and they were feeding stray cats, and then the table scraps just wasn't going to cut it, so I started feeding them cat food, and I wanted to get them all fixed, but the landlord was kind of resistant. I did get one of them fixed, and then when I left, she told me whatever I didn't take with me were all going to disappear one way or another. So I brought all that I could catch and had been working on feeding them inside, letting them come and go. And so now I have all these cats. And I've tried posting on Facebook for people to take them, but no one has responded that can actually keep a cat or a kitten. And one person wanted them for his fighting dogs, so that wasn't happening. Somebody else was getting rid of another pet, and like, no, that's not going to work. So I have enough cats now to start my own shelter. I have more than 20. I'm still in the RV, and I have gotten 3 of my cats fixed. The original one that was in the AC vent, and 2 others. And then I hooked up with the rescue that we've been working on getting some of the other ones fixed. And some of them are still having babies. I have no way to keep them separate. There's 4 of them from when I moved that are still semi-feral. They know I provide food and water, but I can't pet those 4. One of them I did get a trap and got one of them fixed. So at this point, I just have too many cats, and I can't find people that want them, that could take care of them. The shelters are awful here, and they're very picky on where you are as to what shelter will take your animals. And because I'm feeding them, they are no longer considered stray cats. They are all mine now. So if where I was before on the property, they wanted to charge $100 for a rehoming, that didn't work. I still have them. I don't have that kind of money for all these cats. I would like to get some property and have a cat sanctuary to where I have cat fencing and they can just stay there, and maybe have some volunteers that want to come and help play with the kittens. And since I have kittens that like to play, and then I have the older cats that just hang out, a wide range of ages. I now have cats from several different rescue situations. The first one that my son named Gary, then the cats that came from the property, and then my daughter, her husband found a cat outside at their apartments, and I ended up with it. And then my landlord called me. There was a stray cat that had wandered in their yard, and now they have a bunch of big dogs, and it had a bag on its head, a little snack bag. So I went over there and got that one, and it's still feral. So I do have that one separate in a cage that I feed and water and change litter. And so if I can get some property and have my own little sanctuary and have some volunteers to help play with the kittens, that would be great. Property is really going up. I'm in Texas, and everybody wants to move here, so the prices are really going up. on land, and I need to have at least 10 acres for the rules and laws and building codes and things like that in the county that I'm in. If I can't find something soon, I'm going to have to move to another county where I can have something for all these cats. Maybe eventually I can build a house and get out of this RV with my teenage son and now more than 20 cats. So if you would like to help contribute, my Cash App, it starts with the $sign and then Liz Snow Cat. No dashes, no spaces, no dots. Just those 3 words together. Liz Snow Cat. And I want to do more videos and have a video on each cat. And if you want to sponsor a particular cat, that would be great. Everything is going up. Cat food, cat litter, meds. I can't treat all these cats. They now all have ear mites because of the 5 ferals that I can't touch. And they just reinfect each other. The kittens have had colds, and I've treated all the kittens. But then the adults just bring it back again. I do have the fleas are now gone. It took a couple of months after I moved off the property, and they were now all inside cats. And it took some Advantix and some diatomaceous earth, and I got all the fleas are all gone now. So I have lost some kittens, partly from the fleas and fading kitten syndrome. I now have a couple of kittens that have frog leg swimmer syndrome. One of them I've worked with 3 times a day. I can't put anything on their legs because the moms will take them off, and the moms all interchange on the babies. So I just have to work with them. I've never heard of swimmer syndrome until this batch. Anyway, this one is Snowball, and she was born probably around early October. She was found in a ditch by someone who called me, and she was probably about 2 weeks old. And I do have one of her siblings, and another one died of those that they found. And her sibling is a boy, and he's like half her size, as he's had some health problems, and vet bills are not cheap. Here is Winter. That's her sibling. He doesn't want to be on camera. That's okay. Anyway, this is my first one about these cats, and there's going to be more. I hope you stay posted, and if you do want to do Cash App and sponsor a particular cat, let me know. I have a wide range of colors. I have 1 orange. I have 4 tiger stripes. I have some marbled cats. I have a couple of black cats. And here is Bella. She's one of the moms. Several of them have died, but she's one of the ones that I was able to bring with me, and that didn't die there at the property. So I have saved some. Anyway, I'm getting old. So if you'd like to help take care of cats without changing the litter yourself, feel free to do so. Cash App again, $sign Liz Snow Cat. Thank you so much.